Welcome. In this video, we will discuss about how India is going to expand its area of research as well as tourism in Arctic. So recently, India also highlighted its Arctic policy. So now as a homework, what you need to do is look into the Arctic policy of China. So you have to understand that unlike the Antarctic, which is the southern pole of the world, Antarctic, which is considered as the global common, which means that everybody has the equal right on it. That is not the case with the Arctic. So the resources which are present in the Arctic, some countries can very well lay a claim on it, and that is why many countries like China has had a white shipping kind of a tourism package for the Arctic Circle way back in 2018. So India is also trying to expand its research base over there as well as the promotion of tourism in the Arctic Circle. So this is something you should remember from the geopolitical perspective as well. Now let's just quickly see what is basically your Arctic actually consists of. So your Arctic is consisting of the Arctic Ocean and parts of Alaska, which is now under the United States, Canada, Finland, Greenland, which is under the jurisdiction of Denmark, Iceland, Norway, Russia, and Sweden. So these are the country you can consider are the one who will, if the Arctic actually start thawing, the ice over there start thawing, the minerals if they are exposed, they are the countries who could lay claim over them. In fact, there are a case where Russia is saying that it has major claim over this region. So again, these are the more geopolitical perspective, but from geography, let's just look at it. What we will call an Arctic region. So obviously the Arctic Ocean is part of it. Then we have Greenland, Canada, Alaska, Russia, Finland, Sweden, Norway, and Iceland. So these are the places which actually make up the Arctic region. Now let's just quickly see about a grouping which is known as the Arctic Council, which is a high level intergovernmental forum. So basically the government of the member state will be represented over here. So this is a intergovernmental forum that addresses issues faced by the Arctic government and indigenous people of the Arctic. So for an example, this particular council worked towards more cooperation, more collaborated efforts in order to look into the what kind of issues are basically facing the Arctic Circle, what are the issues which are related to the indigenous people who are residing over there. So such kind of issues are handled during the Arctic Council meeting. So Arctic Council has conducted studies on climate change, oil and gas, and the Arctic shipping. So you have to remember that climate change, our poles, both Arctic and Antarctic, both are very much fragile to any kind of climate change because they are like the freezer of the world. So they are the places where the glaciers are present, and once the climate change happen, which is associated with global warming, these glaciers will start melting, kind of leading to what we call as domino effect, where the sea level rise will happen, the extreme weather if event will start to happening. All these things are accumulated. So that is why climate change in the Arctic, studying of it, controlling it is very important to kind of stop all these kind of adverse event. And then oil and gas. So it is also believed that Arctic Council or the Arctic Circle has lot of methane and other kind of oil and natural gas present in the permafrost, which is like completely forever frozen state. They are extracted over there. So there are a lot of conversation going on regarding that also, that once this oil and gas could be exploited or could be extracted from these Arctic Council also, Arctic Circle also. And then there is also a concept of Arctic shipping, which we you must have guys recently heard about the North Sea route also, which means that instead of going through the Suez Canal route, if this particular Arctic shipping, the ship route is actually developed, it will reduce the time manifold. So these are all the things which this Arctic Council take interest in and do a study on. So who are the members of this particular council? So we have Canada, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, Russia, Sweden, and US. So if you look at all these things, these are the states which we just saw in the Arctic region. So the countries who are in the Arctic region are the permanent members of the Arctic Council. So let's just quickly see, do India have any role in it or India has any status? So there are three things. So basically there are member state, we just talk about them, and then there are permanent observers. So if you see over here, India is in red color, which means India is a permanent observer along with the China. So India and China you can consider as a permanent observer to the Arctic Council. Members are the countries who are located in the Arctic region, and India is a observer country, but a permanent one. So India is an observer country to the Arctic Council. Just remember, it is an important point for you to recall. Now, what is India's Arctic policy which has just been unveiled? So, India expects the Goa-based National Center for Polar and Ocean Research. This is the institute in India under the Ministry of Earth Sciences, which take care of any kind of monitoring or research for the polar areas. So, this is the one which has been asked by the India to lead the scientific research and act as a nodal body to coordinate among various scientific bodies to promote domestic scientific research capacity. So this is something which the Arctic policy is talking about, that we have to increase the research capability within the domestic realm also, and for that they have decided that National Center for Polar Ocean Research is going to act as a nodal agency. India aims to promote scientific research in the Arctic. Other objectives of the policy include putting in place Arctic related programs for mineral, oil, gas exploration in Petroleum Research Institute. So even though there are like various environmentalists are warning against the exploration of oil and gas, but again, if the other countries started it, if there is actually a way to do it without harming the environment, there is a possibility, and India should be actually interested in that, because we have limited resources available for petroleum and natural gas. If we could find more venues for it, it will be something which will be helpful. India's Arctic policy also aims at encouraging tourism and hospitality sector in building specialized capacities and awareness to engage with the Arctic enterprises. So again, this is something the tourism sector would also need to be encouraged for the Arctic thing. So this is what the major tenets of India's Arctic policy. Now let's just quickly also talk about the Himadri, which is the research station already present at the Arctic region. It is located in the Spitsbergen, Svalbard, Norway. It was set up during India's second Arctic expedition in 2008 by Ministry of Earth Sciences. Himadri's function include long-term monitoring of ZORD dynamics and the atmospheric research. So ZORD are basically landforms which is created by glaciers. This is a landform created by glacier. It is basically a narrow and deep water body created by glacier, and this is the one which the India is actually monitoring through the Himadri station. Now just for your general awareness, India also has a research base in the Antarctic. India has a research base, in fact, since the 1981. At that time, it was called as the Dakshin Gangotri. Just remember these names. This is like maybe sometime you might be getting questions like that. So there was in 1981 there was Dakshin Gangotri, which was later in 1988 named as Maitri. And at present, what the base is called as Bharti. So these are all present in the Antarctic, and in the Arctic we have Himadri. So just remember all these things. From the India's perspective, also try to understand that having the research knowledge about the Arctic and Antarctic also help it to conserve its major fragile ecosystem of Himalayas, which is again after the polar region, it is the major place where the Earth's glaciers are found. So again, this is important from the conservation of Himalayas also. So try to interconnect all the information you have whenever you are writing answers. And this is again something I will really implore the aspirant, that you guys should start writing answer. Then only you will be able to connect the dots. So I hope you have understood this video. This is like from the prelims perspective also, you should know Arctic Council, its member, India being an observer status, then the research station like the Himadri. For the Antarctic we have Dakshin Gangotri, Maitri and Bharti, and also the information related to the countries which are present in the Arctic region. So these are the major details you should know. I hope you have liked this video. If you have any doubt, feel free to drop a comment. Thank you.